Cliff the Rocket Man here. We're talking about some plating today. I've been working on a couple old lanterns here for a while, and well, I'll just show them to you. I wanted to talk a little bit about how I plate. Now, I'm only going to stick to collars and small parts because that's the only thing I have really figured out so far. I have plated a cage and did nickel plate that tank over there. It wasn't completely bare, and I don't have those figured out yet. So we'll just stick to small parts. So here's my power supply, just a basic 30 volt, 10 amp adjustable power supply, 50 bucks. Find them anywhere. And let's just stick with this container. I do have this for collars, and I use this for cages and fonts, but like I say, let's keep it simple today. I use a little pump on this one and the larger one, but small parts. Okay, small parts being like a gas cap. I did take both pumps apart and re-nickeled the pumps on them. Brass, zincs, or no, let's just say this, brass nickels very easily. Very simple. All I do is take my parts, take them apart, clean them up, stick them in muriatic acid. Muriatic acid is just a cement cleaner. Find it at a hardware store, and then dip them in there, dip them in some water to wash them, and then I put them in my, we'll just stick with this one because it's simple. Put them in here. Generally small parts, zinc or nickel. This is a nickel rod anode in this, and this is my zinc right here. My voltages, I set my voltage at 3 volts and a half of amp. And generally they'll plate in about 5 to 10 minutes. You can get them out anytime you want. My stuff has a tendency to turn black. As it's plating, I know it's working. I actually pull it out and wipe it down with a little bit of 4-aught still wool. And if I like the finish, it's done. If not, I stick it right back in there. So anyway, that does the small parts. Now here is a collar I did yesterday. This is nickel plated, and this is just a B collar that somebody had cut a slot in. I don't know why, but I figured it'd be a good practice collar. This turned out, this is probably my best zinc job there. You notice there, this would be on the bottom towards the tank. It is pitted. That is not from the plating process. That is just rust pits. One thing about nickel, it's so thin, it'll just whatever surface pits or scratches, you're going to see them through your new nickel. Apparently what you can do, and it's beyond me right now, is you can get copper paste and fill that in and then zinc it or nickel it afterwards. Like I say, I've not done this. So I'm just more or less working on my plating process. Now how, like I said before, brass or copper plates very easily. Now this is steel, same with the cages. They're a whole different story. And here's the trick I found for those. I use a stuff called electro cleaner. I put it on with a brush and use a small amount of amperage and voltage My example would be 5 amps, maybe 10 volts, and I follow the instructions on the bottle and coat them with this. Rinse it off. If it does not bead, then I know it's clean enough. And then I go to a stuff called nickel strike, using my same voltage amps. I'm not very picky about that. And I use these brushes hooked up to my power supply, and it tells you how to do it on the bottles. I use these brushes and then wipe the entire surface. I just did the outside on this, and with that, and then stuck it right into my bucket here, that's already set to a temperature of around 110. I do use a little pump. All my solutions are already pre-made. I've already done them. I have zinc. I've done some copper and nickel. So I have all my solutions are already pre-made, preheated. All I do is just prepare them steel with this, with my 2 solutions here. I've got my power supply set up. Let's see, a cage. Here's an example of a cage. I did a zinc. I used 5 volts and 6 amps. So a nickel, or no, I'm sorry, I said cage. It's a collar. Here's a nickel collar. I used 7 volts and 3.8 amps at 100, and both of them were set at 120 degrees. So, and this is what I'm getting. I actually scrubbed it down with a little steel wool, and then buffed it up on with some buffing pads with some, let's see, I think I was using a red or first a green stick and then a red stick on buffing pads, and there you go. I just bought the kit locally for, it was actually for chrome, buffing chrome up. So anyway, there you go. There is some hints of how to plate old lantern parts. I'm not interested in doing too many other things. Man, you know more about this than I do. Please comment. This has been a year in the making, trying to figure out how to make this all work. Small parts easy. The larger it gets, the harder it gets to do. Gets to get them to plate. Has something to do with the square inches and the amps. Oh, here, I'll throw this at you. Let's see, zinc, I actually use 0.14 inches per square inch, and nickel, I use 0.10 times the square inches. So how you figure that out on a cage, you just have to kind of guess. You take the biggest piece and measure it, and then add a little bit more for the rest of it. A fawn, I haven't figured it out. So, but anyway, there's some ideas, some hints at how I do it. I'm getting better at it and having a good time. And the lanterns are really turned out pretty well for what I started with. Anyway, that's all I got. Cliff out. Okay, now let's see if that's any better. 9 better.